All right. Hello, quilters. Let's see. I should be live.
The App Store accountability app.
All right. Always something. Anyway, today's another day, another Saturday in the studio where I'm working on a whole cloth. I'm stitching it with an acrylic ruler, the STITCHLINE Ruler. I'm doing some echo techniques. I use whole cloth panels to practice new techniques, to hone patterns that I like, to see if I can improve my technique, and also to test new things, new designs, new ways of taking the same pattern and putting it in different places. Let's see, put that, there we go. So, yeah, that's what I'm up to today on this Saturday. I did finish quilting all the inside of this gray area in here. All this surrounding all this area has been quilted. I worked on that earlier this afternoon. And now I'm working on the border, the outside negative space. Now, what's interesting, you might see this white line here. This technically is where the design ended. When you order the fabric, you get it by the yard. And so the design itself is less than a yard. It's 36 by 36, and the yard, the width of it is 42, 44. So you get this extra fabric here, and I'm thinking that I'm not going to cut that off. Instead, I'm going to use this area as another design area. So I'm going to use the entire 44 inches by 36 inches of the panel of the fabric, because I bought a yard. And instead of making it a square quilt, 36 by 36, I'm going to leave this attached and I'm going to stitch a different design in this area. This gives me an opportunity to play. And yeah, so anyway, I've been working on echo quilting, and I did that in the gray area that I mentioned. Now I'm doing an improv pattern over here. I just started that, and it's an experimentation. I have not done this type of improv quilting in the background, so let's have some fun doing it. So welcome, and this is me in the studio on a Saturday. Now you may notice that I have a lot of arrows on here. The STITCHLINE Ruler has etched reference lines, and those reference lines, which I love, they are 1/4 inch apart in the center, and then once it fans out, they are a 1/2 inch apart. And the combination of them from the needle position at this round end, each red one represents 1.5 inches. So from here to here is 1.5 inches, and here to here is 1.5 inches, and so forth. And then I use some green stickers to indicate from the red to the green is a 1/2 inch. And these are all reference lines that are on the ruler. You can't always see them very well depending upon the fabric color. Now I can see them, but I want to be really precise, and what really helps with that is having these stickers. So I have some on the other side, the blue ones. These blue stickers are all on top of reference lines that are 1/2 inch apart. So when I'm maneuvering the ruler, you'll see me stitch. I will be using these rulers as quick identifiers to the reference lines that are on the ruler, which I can see, but it's still a little faint. And I need those also because with this design, I want to be able to keep it vertical. And I use the reference lines to do that. So anyway, let me get to stitching. All right, where am I at in this? With improv quilting, all right, I'm going to go up here, go around. Yeah, all right. I'm doing a 1/2 inch improv echo. So there we go. The main thing that I don't want to do is spend time marking a quilt, right? That's what I don't want to do. Let me see, I'm gonna change my microphone position. Sorry for all the noise. All right. Here we go. All right. So, what's been going on for the week? I've been pretty busy with pattern writing a pattern, and pre editing video for that pattern. So, I like to record me making the quilt, every process, and then decide what part of those videos I will include in a video pattern to go along. It's a companion to the printed pattern. So I've been working on that all week, and I'm just about done with the pattern. There's always a time where I need to let it sit and then not look at it for a while, because then I catch more errors, and invariably it happens every single time. I finish multi-page pattern, then I'm like, okay, let me print it out. And as soon as I print it out and see it physically on a page, I find a whole bunch of errors. So I have to print every time I do a round of fixes, edits, changes, and I think I'm done. Then I print it out, and then I find the next wave of things I want to correct or add. And I'm up to version number 7 for this pattern. And I was doing that for the last 2 days, working on that pattern. And before I do the voiceovers for the pattern, I like to have the written pattern mostly completed so that I'm looking at the printed pattern as I'm doing the voiceovers. And as I'm watching myself do it and I read the instructions, are they matching? And so that's when I have my next wave of edits. So I think I'm at that point. So I'm ready to do that voiceover work in conjunction with the current version number 7 of the pattern, which means I should be able to get some additional corrections or changes that I might want to make when I compare it to actually how I made the pattern through the video, through watching the video. Mhm. So that's what I've been working on this week, in between a couple other stuff, but that was mostly it. Okay, I'm gonna try that one. Should I go up? No, I'm only gonna go up one. It's so tempting to change a design technique in the middle because you have a new idea, but I'm going to try and stick with this current design and not deviate from it. It's good to have, at least I think, multiple examples of a style and repeated in various projects before there's a new version. So that's what I'm trying to do here is stick. Okay, I got that. I need to go over just a bit. Let's see. Oh, what was the other thing I had? I announced this past week, which I mentioned from last Saturday, that there's a new virtual event coming up in July, and I'm going to talk about improv ruler quilting with the STITCHLINE Ruler. So I was releasing a lot of the preview videos of that. Maybe you've seen some of them. And generally, I like to, just before I speak on a topic, is to actually remind myself of what it's like to stitch that technique. Because sometimes it might be um, weeks or months since I've stitched something, and I think it's good to just kind of remind myself of the experience by actually doing it if I haven't done it in a while. All right, there we go. So that's what I'm doing here. And it's going to help me put together my presentation, which I'm really excited about. Really, really excited about this presentation because it's such a fun technique. I think once I get my groove with this particular pattern, I'll move a little bit faster. But right now, I want to just really concentrate and develop that rhythm. I think it's coming out pretty good. I think you can see it on that second camera. Let me hold it up a little bit. All right. There we go. Yeah. I'm using blending thread, so it's slightly contrasty. It's similar color to this, but it almost looks white. I think if I used white, it probably would have shown a little bit more, but I chose to use more blending. Okay, there we go. Okay. What's happening for the coming week? Oh, the other thing, I didn't know if I mentioned to you that I started attending Toastmasters. If you're unfamiliar with Toastmasters, it's a international club that has local chapters all over the world. And at each chapter, there are several chapters here in my town. It's to help you with your communication skills, speaking, giving speeches, and at every meeting, which is twice a month, there are different roles that you can participate in. You can give a speech, 5 minute speech. There's also a 2 minute speech for the table topic of the day. Someone picks a topic and you just give a impromptu speech. And every person that goes to the podium to speak, to give a speech, 1 minute, 2 minute, 5 minute, you're timed for that. You're also um, given an evaluation. There's always an evaluator for the 5 minute speech where they evaluate multiple things. And then someone is the grammarian who looks at the grammar, and someone also is the R counter. How many times do you say those filler words? And so, etc. And you do that for every person that speaks, and it helps them recognize where they need to improve. So it's always a good meeting. It always runs about an hour. You get a chance to practice your skills, see where your shortcomings are, and then improve it for the next one. And I hadn't been in a few months because I've been so busy with other things. I finally got a chance to go this year. I didn't have a speech prepared, but I knew that I would speak because I've told myself every single meeting you must get on that podium and give a speech, even if it's impromptu, because I want to get better at speaking. I want to get better at communicating a thought without having to plan it and to be understood, etc., etc. And I'm not giving myself any wiggle room on that. Okay, I think I'm just going to come straight down. So I did that, and I'm glad that I did. But I do need to take time to do a formal 5 minute speech on a topic that I have not committed to and I really need to. Because they have online support for that too. There's a series of speeches that you can give that you get a formal evaluation on and a score, and it tells you, if you do a certain level within that series, then you graduate and go to the next level. They also judge you on your body language. They critique you on your body language, your hand gestures, your posture, all those things that could be distracting. That can either add to or take away from your speech. Oh, I finally see someone there. Let's see. I think I was missing that. Okay. There we go. Aloha, Lori. How are you? Whoops, not that one. I don't have my comments open. I know since I don't announce these lives, that's off. I don't want that. I want, there we go, comments. Hey, oh, thank you. I appreciate that. It's very kind of you. I've been working on it. Hi, who else is here? There's Lori. Hey, how are you, Lori? So glad you're here. Let me bring my computer closer. Let's see. Michigan, hello. It's been a while since I've seen you. How are things? How are things going for you? Bring this up here. All right, I have to remember which mouse I need to look at. Okay. Things are well. Oh, good. Glad to hear that. For me, yeah, I've been keeping kind of busy. Got a couple of projects going on. There's the triple stitch event that I've been working on. I've been working on the pattern for that this week. That event is the summer soiree. It's a virtual, and I've almost finished my contribution to this quilt pattern. 3 different designers. I worked on the pattern this week. I'm editing the videos. I'm going to do the voiceovers. I want to start them this coming week. So I'm working on that. I've been busy with the Toastmasters, which I just mentioned. And what else has been going on? Oh, I started a new Bible study. I go to a women's business Bible study every 2 weeks, and we're going to meet again this week. And I was listening to the audio book today. By the way, do you ladies use Hoopla on your phone? It's an app for your local library. There's Libby and there's Hoopla, Hoopla. And that's where you can check out ebooks and audiobooks. So I always look for the audiobook. And so the one that we're doing, it's called Kingdom Women, or Kingdom Woman with an A, by Tony Evans and Crystal Evans Hurst. And we had our first session 2 weeks ago. Second session is going to be this week. So I do that every other Wednesday. Well, first and third Wednesday. First and third Wednesday. So that's what I've been doing, catching up on that reading. And I also listen to some business books on here. So that's something else that I'm doing. Wait a minute. I got this confused because, wait a minute. Let me backtrack. Okay. So Kingdom Women is for, yeah. No, I was right. Yeah. Yeah, it is the Christian business women's Bible study is the Kingdom Woman. But I also started another new Bible study, and it's we're up to Romans chapter 8, I think, coming up. And this is once a month. So that's what's new with me. Nothing else really. Yeah, Hoopla. Hoopla is let me see if I can go back. It's a Bible app. You download it, it's free. Once you have your library card, you sign in with your name and library card, and it's basically digital access to your library system. There's another one called Libby, Libby. So I don't have to physically go to the local library. Instead, I just go onto this app, Hoopla, Hoopla, and I search. I search for books, ebooks, audiobooks. They have movies, all kinds of things, music, and any topic. You can get, wow, I didn't even know this, season pass. I don't know what that means. But there's, there are Hallmark movies. I didn't know about that. Now, I haven't used a lot of the app, maybe I can show you here. There we go. So there's popular binge passes. I guess if you're a Hallmark movie lover, you would watch a lot of these and you can watch them for free, I guess. Let me see what it happens. I'll just hit on that. Yeah, you can borrow a binge pass, get 7 days of unlimited access to our partner's platform by borrowing this Hoopla binge pass. Hallmark Plus is an all new streaming service that gives you unlimited access to exclusive new original series. Is that amazing? So you don't have to pay for a subscription to Hallmark on these streaming services. Instead, you can go through your local library and you get it, borrow it for 7 days. That is nice. Hmm. So, have you heard of that? Have I read Jesus CEO? No, I haven't read that. What is that about? It's awesome. Okay. I'm going to take a look at that. Let's see if it's here on the app. Let me go back. Home, books, search. Someone was telling me about another book I should read. I assume that's a book, right? Jesus CEO. Okay. Titles. They have it as an ebook and audiobook. Does this look familiar? Let me see if it can try this. It's hard to see. It's a Jesus is my CEO. Does that look right? Okay. Let me look at the chat. Yes, this is it. Okay, good. Awesome. Yay. All right. I'm going to borrow it right now. I'm going to hit the blue button. All right. I have until July 4th to listen to it. Awesome. Thank you for that recommendation. All right. So anyway, I use either Hoopla or the Libby app, but mostly I've been using the Hoopla. So I have several books checked out, audio books. And a lot of times I'm listening to these audio books when I'm driving. Okay, I don't think I missed anything. All right. Where am I? All right, I'm going down. I was telling my brother that I really want a vacation. I want a vacation. One year I had several vacations in one year, meaning I traveled to visit family. I went to several places all in one year, and that kind of broke the bank. And that was in 2024. And so 2025 was, you must stay home, young lady. Stay home, because it kind of broke the bank there. I had to recoup from that, but I had so much fun. But now I want to go see family. I want to go travel. Lori, that was the year that I went to Hawaii with my sisters, and we got a chance to meet you in person and had so much fun. Lori is the hostess with the mostest. Amazing time we had with Lori. and some delicious Italian food from a local restaurant, family-owned restaurant, which was delicious. And I had my favorite dessert, right? I had my favorite dessert, tiramisu, right? I splurged and I got some fabric. That fabric, I see it every couple of months because I'm pulling fabric and I think I have to do something with this fabric. It cannot stay in the fabric bin. But I'm trying to find the right project for it, which I haven't yet. And I think I got a lot of yardage for that. And I don't know that I wanted to just be the back of a quilt. I want to find something really special for it. It's so beautiful. So what are you ladies up to on this fine Saturday? Any of you sewing anything? Any projects? What are you working on? Or what did you recently finish? What did you recently finish? Do you have any deadlines? And what are your summer plans? Are you going on vacation? No way. You went to the same fabric store today? Get out of here. What did you get? What did you get? Ooh, a travel bag. You finished a travel bag? Nice. And where are you traveling to? Is it for a specific trip? Nice. A rulerwork class. That does kind of wear me out sometimes. That I'm glad you're having a rest day today. And the sunglass cases, those are always needed. Nice. Oh no, what happened to your sewing machine, Lori? It needs a little help. I hope it gets fixed. It's nothing like being without your favorite. Is this your favorite sewing machine, the one you use all the time? And do you have a backup? All right, here we go. Oops, I went a little too far. Let's see, move that one down there, and there. I know I showed it last time, the quilt that I did recently for move that there. Improv lecture. Oh, you wanted to make a non-quilted one. Okay. What do you do when it's non-quilted? Do you use like what do you call it? It's a something to hold it together. You use um I don't know why I can't think of it. It's just my brain freeze here. Some kind of adhesive, something to hold the parts together, or is it just one layer of fabric when you say non-quilted? Ooh, a needle stitched on imprinted. Wow. Well, I'm glad you have a tech that could handle the issue. It's working better now, but I still have tension problems. What does that mean, tension problems? That means no matter what you do, your tension's not right. Um, that's it. Thank you. Like fusible fleece. Yes, Sarah, fusible fleece. Thank you. Thank you. That's it. I have some of that, the fusible fleece. Do you find that you like that instead of quilting? And when you use the fusible fleece without quilting it, and then you wash the travel bag, does it hold up? Does it hold together? I'm curious about that. Because sometimes I will use a fusible product called Home Decor when I don't want the fleece. I don't want the thick padding. And the Home Decor, it's heat fused. Sometimes it will not hold together. Oh, Lori, looping on the bottom. Hmm. That means the top tension is not pulling the bobbin thread up. That's what it sounds like. Is your top tension at the highest setting? Hmm. That makes me wonder if there is something in when your top thread goes through to be threaded, is there some lint in between where the path of the thread goes through? Because your tension, to have to put it up that high, I mean, and then it's still looping. That's not good. There's no room to make any further adjustments. Oh, okay. Ah, that's what you have to test. Okay. Thanks, Sarah. I was just curious about that. Hmm. Did I ever tell you about this a book called Sewing Machine? Sewing Machine. It's in the other room. It's really a good book. If you don't have it, I highly recommend it. And let me see if I can find it here real quick on that online store that begins with an A. Amazon. Let's see. Sewing machine repair, I think it is. Sewing machine. Uh, Let me go back. Sewing machine and go to books. Here we go. Books. You know what? I should look at. Okay, it's called the Sewing Machine Reference Tool. Sewing Machine Reference Tool. It's a troubleshooting guide to Loving Your Sewing Machine Again. If you don't have that book, I highly recommend it. It is so good. Excuse me. It has everything you can think about for bobbins, for tension, for threading, and it has diagrams. It's really a good book. It's $20 on Amazon. If you want me to put the link in the chat, I can do that. Let me know if that's something you want. Why don't I just do that? Why don't I just put it in the chat? All right, this computer is acting really strange. It will not let me. There we go. All right, I just put the link in the chat. It's such a good book. You can take a look at it even now while we continue. I can't believe it's been up 40 minutes already. Where does this time go? And I don't really get much quilting done, but I get a lot of time to chat with you ladies, which I enjoy. I just finished a tote bag, Sarah. It's one that is this fabric that I designed with the word love on it and my sister's picture. And I finally made it into a tote. I quilted it with this ruler. Do you want to see it? And my sister, who's an avid cruiser, she has 2 more cruises that she's going on. And when I showed it to her, she's like, "Oh, yes, thank you. Mail it to me right now." She said, "No," I said, "No, this is for me. This is not for you." She just thinks automatically because I make something, she should get it. Lori says, "Yes, it's a good book." Awesome. So you have it, Lori, the sewing machine. Maybe that can help you with your tension. I assume you have the book. Sometimes we have these resources and we forget, right? Or maybe you already checked and it wasn't able to help you with your specific challenge. All right, where am I going? All right, I'm going up and over. I really only want to stay on for 30 minutes, but it's so hard. 30 minutes goes by like that. There we go. Oh, by the way, we do meet this coming Friday, this week, here for Quilt Conversations Live, and I have a special guest who's going to join us. I interviewed someone, and we're going to watch part of that interview with her journey with quilting. So I can't wait to share that. So come back 7 p.m. again on Friday. Awesome. Okay. All right. I'm going to go up, down, and over. Hmm. Thank you, Lori. June 19th, Cool Conversations Live, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Yep. All right. I went pretty far during this time. Let me give you a little look. I know it's not that easy to see, but there it is. There's the texture, all half inch apart, all improv quilting, filling the background. Now, of course, it doesn't have to be half inch. It could be a quarter inch. It could be a whole inch. But I have quite a bit to fill in to go all the way around. Just adding this half inch texture of quilting. Just taking my time. Now, I'm always curious. Let me know because I know I said I wasn't going to do this, but ladies, you know me. The previous week, I had, well, 2 weeks ago, I only had one camera. Then someone said, "Hey, can I get a closer look?" I said, "Okay, let me add a second camera." So that's why we have this camera here. We have a second camera. And I was using only one light. And I decided, okay, I'll get another light. So I spent some more money and I got another light and it's over here. So now I have more light to help balance things out. So I really worked hard today before I went live to balance the light between the close up camera, the camera that's on me, the lighting in the room. Does it look better? Let me know if it looks better. Oh, I appreciate that. Thank you. I am never in a rush. Sometimes when I rush, I should say often when I'm in a rush is when I make mistakes. I really like to look at what I'm stitching and especially when I'm new to a particular technique or pattern that I want to develop because I'm thinking about it in terms of teaching. So before I actually teach it, and you probably do the same thing, you stitch it multiple times, you figure out how you can instruct someone on how to do it. So as I'm stitching this, I'm thinking about those things. How can I share this with others and teach them how to do it? Yay, it's an improvement. Thank you, Lori. I appreciate that. The lighting looks better, the close-up looks better. Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you, ladies. It's always a, how can I say it? There's this phrase that says fail forward. Have you heard it before? Fail forward. It means you have to start. It doesn't matter what it is. The faster we fail, the faster we move forward. So with every iteration, there's some level of quote unquote failure, meaning a problem. Then you create a solution for that problem. And then the next time you make that improvement, then there's something else you need to improve. So the more times that we do something, the more we have opportunities to improve and correct and make something better. And that's what I like to do. Sometimes we're afraid to fail. But when we're afraid to fail, to make mistakes, I think it also means we're afraid to learn. We're afraid to be vulnerable. And I think it's unfair pressure to ourselves to suggest that we will get it right the first time. Okay, you see the detail. Great, great. I was trying to balance that with this light fabric. And I like to sometimes choose a fabric that you can see on camera, not always something, but this time, no contrast, sorry. Normally, for my videos, whenever I'm teaching a pattern, I will use dark fabric and light thread so you can clearly see what's happening. Rarely is it blending thread, and rarely is it a light fabric. So I thank you. I really, all the effort paid off. Yay! And now that this is separate, this is Studio B, I can keep it as is and I don't have to change anything. All the settings are great. And the new light that I got, it's a long tube on a itty bitty tripod, and I don't have to plug it in. It's just charged. It's supposed to last for an hour. And so far it's living up to what it says it could do. It's been on for an hour. Yay. The colors are beautiful. Oh, yay. So glad. All right, ladies, I think this is it for this Saturday night in the studio. If you did not see the quilt that I finished for, oh, it's behind me, for the improv lecture. Whoops. Whoops. There we go. Mhm. This is it. This is another panel. I love panels. They're a great way to practice and learn different techniques, and then they're just the right size to give away as baby quilts. So this is it here, and it just came out so awesome, so wonderful. I love it, and I think I talked last week about I chose to use, instead of a binding, to use facing. But here's an example of some of that improv quilting. All right. Beautiful, beautiful improv quilting. No marking. Love that. Yay. What I do want to expand is more improv quilting with the wavy side. So I'm going to work on some more patterns for that. This is one technique here. All right. One improv. And with the echo quilting, that is something else that I'm trying to quote unquote perfect, and not perfect and get it perfect, but so that I can teach multiple ways to echo quilt. And so this is part of that building of the curriculum, if you will, for a future class. And if you missed it, do you remember the 5-star free Rulerwork challenge right here on the YouTube channel? You know, you can also sign up on my website so that you can have access to the online community and see all the videos in one place on a separate platform. But this is an example of the 5-star quilt, but this time, instead of the quilt along, I said, you know what, I'm going to stitch it all with the echo quilting. And so this is the 5-star panel with echo quilting. So right now, my theme is echo quilting. All right, that's what I've been doing a lot of, and preparation for creating a course on it, and or whether it's in person or online. And so there's various ways that we can echo quilt. So if you haven't seen that, that's actually on my YouTube channel, a previous Quilt Conversations live. Go watch that, and I talk about this, and you'll see some close-up videos of how I did a little bit of this quilting. And here's another example of the echo quilting. There's so many ways that we can echo quilt and make beautiful, beautiful designs. And so I really like that. Pretty, pretty, pretty. And so if you want to get more about the improv, don't forget to check me out at this virtual event. Let me see if I can get the image up there for you. Okay, not that one. Is it this one here? Yeah, there we go. So it's July. It is on the 16th, and it's a 1 hour presentation. But guess what? When you sign up, you get all the presenters. There's 10 of us. And then there's replay. That means that if you are in one session, because it's all day, and if you could be only there for part of it, or there's one session like my session, there are three other ladies giving a session at the same time. You choose one to watch live, but then 3 days later, I think it's 3 days later, all the recordings are up and you can watch every single session, all 10. And let me tell you, I went to one in April and one last January as a participant, not as a teacher. And they're so good. You get a wide range of quilting and sewing tips from expert quilters from all over the world. And I mean, it's so worth the time, the investment. It's so good. And don't forget to get the save the $20 with my coupon code. There it is, PP26 Geraldine. It's so worth it, let me tell you. And then they always give, each instructor always gives some kind of free thing at the event. So you get tons and tons of resources for very little. So if you've never heard of it, CC Publishing, they do this thing called Creative Sparks, and each event, I think they do it 3 or 2 times a year. I think it's 3. And it focuses on various things. Sometimes it's quilting, sometimes it's embroidery. And so if it's an embroidery event, it's 10 embroidery instructors that give a very unique perspective from their own experience and their own specialty in that part of the fiber arts. Or it's an applique event. And if you love applique, which that's not me, but if that's you, it's your dream come true because there's just these amazing instructors that give so much support to your desire to learn more about that topic. Now, what's kind of interesting is that they included me in Patchwork Power when most of the teachers are teaching about piecing techniques. And the featured speaker is Karen Montgomery. I think that's her name. Hopefully, I got that right. She's amazing. I have her tools. I love her techniques. She designed a ruler for creative grids that is my go-to ruler. It's a 3.5 by 12.5 ruler. I use it for everything, for cutting strips, for cutting binding. It's I'm using it all the time. That's one of her tools. And then she has some other tools and books, which I have some of her books too. So she's the featured presenter, and so she's going to be fantastic off the top. So if you haven't heard of her, so I hope to see you there. Yep. Well, that's it for this session of Studio B. I will. Will I see you next week? I think so. Let me see. What is on the schedule for next week? Next Saturday is the 20th. So yeah, I will be here. It's not the last Saturday. Last Saturday is another home Bible study that I do. It's always the last Saturday. So yep, I will be working on this. And I'll show you how far I got on it and how it's looking. And yeah, so that's it. Any questions before I sign off? If not, have a wonderful weekend. And Sarah, I can't wait to hear more about how you uh, test and the results of your unquilted bag, how that went. And let's see if I can turn this off here. Nope, wrong one. There we go. So I want to hear about that, Sarah. And Lori, please let me know about your machine intention. I hope that gets resolved. You are welcome. Have a wonderful weekend. It was nice to spend this short time with you. All right, ladies. I'll see you next time. Have a wonderful weekend.